don't say the word moist often, but there really isn't another way to describe Mina Stone's super lemony olive oil cake. Start by whisking together 3 eggs, 1.5 cups of olive oil, and 1.25 cups of sugar until smooth. Mix in 1.25 cups of milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and the zest and juice of 2 lemons. Then in another bowl, whisk together 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of baking soda. Add the egg mixture to the dry ingredients and whisk to combine. Pour the batter into a greased 9-inch springform pan and sprinkle over granulated sugar. Bake at 350 for 50 minutes and cool on a wire rack before unmolding. To serve, sift over some powdered sugar and top with lemon zest. This cake is seriously delicious.
This ultimate cookie cake is a showstopper.
Red velvet cake to do for this weekend. It is the easiest recipe you're ever going to do, so come make it with me. Preheat your oven to 350. You know the drill, let's mix our dry. Flour, sugar, baking soda, salt, cocoa powder, and stir. It'll look like this when it's combined. Now to our wet ingredients. Oil, buttermilk, 2 eggs, vanilla, vinegar, red food coloring. Mix until combined and slowly add in your dry to your wet. Your batter is going to look like this. Spray, place your parchment, spray again, including the sides. Split into your 3 6-inch rounds, which is about 1 3/4 cups per round. Bake for 35 minutes. So there you are, guys. It actually ended up being another 6 minutes to finish it off, and here is your recipe.
I promise you that if you make this cinnamon cake once, you'll be making it every week to enjoy with your morning cup of coffee. This cake is so moist and delicious and is topped with the perfect icing sugar glaze, so let's make it together today. The recipe for this amazing cake is super simple. We will start by adding all our wet ingredients, and so in a bowl I combine the eggs, the oil, the buttermilk, as well as the vanilla extract and whisk everything together really well. This is an oil-based cake, and so it is super moist and delicious. And then once our wet ingredients are whisked together, we will add all our dry ingredients, which includes the flour, baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And then we will add the final ingredient, which is our granulated or white sugar, and then whisk everything together really well. And that completes your cake batter. It is so easy and super delicious, and this cake batter smells amazing already. And so now we will pour half of our cake batter into a greased loaf pan, and then top it off with a cinnamon sugar. And so what I did for the cinnamon sugar is just combined a tablespoon of cinnamon with about 4 tablespoons of sugar. You can use whatever ratio that you'd like, and then top it off with the rest of your cake batter, and then bake this cake at 350 for anywhere between 40 to 55 minutes depending on the heat of your oven. Once your cake is out of the oven, you will allow it to cool completely for about an hour before we add the icing sugar glaze. And even before adding the glaze, the cake smells so amazing. Your home will literally smell like a dream. And then I just drizzled on the icing sugar glaze right on top of our cooled cake. And the icing sugar will melt a little bit and will get a little bit droopy, but it will still give such an amazing glaze and texture to the cake. And so I do recommend that you add it. And now all that's left to do is slice your cake and enjoy.
carrot cake in all its glory. This is my mom's favorite cake. She asks for it every year on her birthday, and this is my version. I've been playing around with the recipe and I think I've nailed it. You won't believe how easy it is to make. It is a labor of love if you choose to grate your own carrots, which is what I did, of course. Store-bought grated carrots is perfectly fine. I added chopped walnuts, and that's optional, as well as crushed pineapple, but this ingredient is important. It gives the cake more flavor and a bit of extra moisture. This is a pretty dense cake, and that's what it's known for. I don't know about you guys, but I've had insanely sweet carrot cake, so I made sure it wasn't overly sweetened and a perfect balance of flavors. The cream cheese frosting did just that. I'm also terrible at frosting cakes. I'm not a professional baker, so my cake is a rustic looking cake, and I'm okay with that. I know my flavors will be on point, and also it's the thought that counts, right? With the leftover cake scraps from cutting the tops of the cake for even layers, I crumbled it and topped the outer circle for the perfect look, and that's it. I hope your family enjoys it as much as mine. Enjoy!
Thank you to my follower who requested me to make Lotus Biscoff cupcakes. They were moist and delicious with the lotus cookie base, and this is how I made them. You want to start off by crushing the Lotus Biscoff into fine crumbs set aside for your cupcake base and to decorate with. Combine the crushed Lotus Biscoff with the remaining dry ingredients and combine the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. And once the batter is ready, add some round cream Lotus Biscoffs to the bottom of your cupcake case. Top off with some batter and bake these in the oven for 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. For the buttercream, I always start with unsalted butter. I cut it into small cubes and microwave it for around 30 seconds and start to beat this for around 5 minutes until it is pale in color. You also want to scrape the bowl so that everything is beaten evenly. Add in the sifted icing sugar, double cream to smoothen out the consistency, and Lotus Biscoff spread. This buttercream was so delicious and amazing, I was honestly lost for words. Transfer into a piping bag, and once cooled you can start decorating the cupcakes. I added some Lotus Biscoff halves, some crumbs, and that's it. Make sure you follow me for more recipes and let me know which cupcake flavor you would like to see next.